Hi guys, how you doing? This is another show. This is Man United news on Ball and Ballers Pod. I'm Z, your host for today, and I'm talking about all things Man United and all things football related. So I'm going to get into some Sesko updates. I'm going to get into the new stadium update because there's a news article that I read yesterday regarding that. I'm going to talk about De Ligt a bit. I'm going to talk about Onslaught a bit. I know it's not United, but I need to talk about Onslaught. And I'm going to talk about Senne Lammens and our next 5 fixtures and Axel Tuanzebe. So it's quite a lot of stuff to pack into this show, but I'll keep it short and sweet just so you can get the message and I'll be straight to the point. So let's get into the first one. But before I do, please like, please share, please comment underneath, please subscribe to my channel and then hit that notification bell. And thank you for watching. So let's get into it. So Benji Sesko. Yep, he got injured in the Tottenham game. So he was taken off. We were down to 10 men. They scored, then we equalized. And I reckon if he stayed on the pitch, he might have even won it. But let's not talk about if, buts, and maybes. Let's talk about absolutes, like that Liverpool fan said on that TikTok that I seen once. So there was a video come out that he was limping at the end of the game, walking off, and injury looked bad. Now, Fabrizio Romano came out with a video on YouTube that I watched, and I saw this on his Facebook where he said Benjamin Sesko injury is not an ACL and will not take months. So that's the good news. At most, I think the rumor is that he'll be out for a month. He'll be back probably for our second or third game after the international break. I think that's probably going to be Palace, or the game after that he'll probably be back for. It'll be nice for him to come back for the Palace game, but then knowing Amorim, he'll probably hold off on him and probably rework his fitness to get to that level that he is. So that is good news. So checking it. So roughly you're looking at about a month away from the team. Okay, so my next story is regarding Onslaught and Ruben Amorim. I've seen this come out. I've seen it online where in 2025, Ruben's had 16 defeats. And because now that Liverpool have lost their 6th game in the league, Onslaught has 17 defeats. But this is the reason why United are the biggest club in England. Because we drew against Tottenham, and I hear a lot of negative stuff still, such as Sesko isn't the right guy for the job. Cunha's performance poor. Now that we've drawn against Tottenham in a game that we should have won due to the subs, should Amorim be the right man for the job? Yes, I think currently he's the right man for the job. If you asked me about just before the last international break, I would have probably said no. Because we lost against Grimsby, we lost against Brentford, we weren't doing well. We just about made it through against Fulham. We did lose against Arsenal in a game that we should have really won with the amount of chances that we got. But on Slot, you're not hearing nothing about him. Not much. You get, is it the players? Or is it, I don't know. Is it the players? Is it something else? Is it this? Is it that? And that's all I've been hearing. And even in interviews, he's like, I blame the ref. Or, we prepared for Sesko, so I thought Sesko was going to start. Or, just like different kind of excuses. Next thing he'll say is, the other team had a red stripe, so we confused them with a Liverpool player, even though they're wearing a white top. So, it's just full of excuses, and I'm just happy that I can, for now, rub it in Liverpool fans' faces and say we're the biggest club in England, because even when we draw and even when we go undefeated in 5 games, there's still that story of, should he be replaced? Should he go? Is it a system? Is it the adaptation? Is it this? And you're just hearing that all the time. I've not heard nothing really negative about Onslaught. There has been a few stories. There's been a few, TalkSport mentioned it a few times. Is he under pressure? But then they said, no, it's the players. So for better or worse, words, shall I say, it is what it is. But that is the reason we're the biggest club in England. And now Amorim's won more games than he's lost, which is, hey, we're making progress. I feel like we're making progress. Anyway, moving on to Utd De Ligt. Now, he's been amazing this season. He has had a few lapses here and there, but overall, he's been amazing. I reckon if Bruno ever leaves, he should be in line for the next captaincy, and rightly so, because I think he deserves it. But there's a stat that come out with most clearances for United this season in the Premier League, and he's way out in the lead with 59. With Euro second with less than half. That is just a crazy stat. The amount of clearances he's made. And I don't know whether that's a good thing because we're clearing the ball out a lot or whether it's a bad thing, But 59 clearances is amazing. And then you got Lenny Yoro, 27. Dallo, for some reason, he's on the list for 21. I didn't even know he cleared the ball that much. I just seen his poor performances. Luke Shaw, 21. He's been all right. Ain't been too bad. Bruno's had up and down season. More down, I reckon, than up, but 20 clearances. So at least he's going back to defend, but that is something that he really needs to work on, that defense, because he does seem to lose his man quite a bit. But that is a crazy stat, and well done to De Ligt, I suppose. Yes, I guess. Yep. He's I can't knock him. Brilliant player. And he's really come on this season, and he's one player that I really want to keep. Speaking of keeping, that's what my next video is going to be about. There's rumors about this January signings, who's leaving, who's going to come. So I'll be discussing that in my next video at some point this week. But yeah, brilliant. Hope he comes back after international break and carries that on. Another person that's at international break is Senne Lammens. So with Lammens now, Courtois injured. Courtois injured, so there's a potential chance or rumor going around that he might be able to start his first game for Belgium. Now, I think Sal might start. I think this is Forest goalkeeper, Sal. Yeah, I think he might start ahead of Senne Lammens, but I would love to see Senne start. He's been brilliant for us in goal. We haven't lost the game that he started, but I might be patting my chickens a bit too early. But we haven't lost the game that he has started, and he's made some amazing stays. His stats are better than Bayern Dia and Onana, which isn't really that hard because, let's face it, they were just poor. But he has, I think his XG for goal prevention was 2.89, which is really, really good, really up there. And I wish him the best of luck if he does start for Belgium. I know he'll knock you out the park. I know he'll do brilliantly. And hopefully he won't get injured. So when he comes back, because we need him in goal. We need him in goal, especially with our first game back off international break against Everton. So our first game back off international break will be against Everton. I think that's 21st or 22nd, if I can remember, or 23rd, something along them lines. I think it was a Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken, 8 p.m. on a Monday night, I think, against Everton. The game after that will be Everton. Then the game after that will probably be Palace, which is probably going to be the toughest game out of the 5. I reckon Palace will be the toughest game out of the 5. So we don't know what result we're going to get out of them, whether it's good or not. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law both support, or shall I say, my wife's sister and her partner both support Crystal Palace. So that'll be good to watch. I might get them to come around. I might go around. I don't know. We'll probably find somewhere to watch it together. But it'll be a good game. And that's the game I'm looking forward to. And hopefully we get bragging rights, because I'll never live it down if we lose. I'll never live it down. They were above us in the table, and all I got was they're above us in the table. So now that we're above them, I can rub it in a bit, but, not for too long. Then we got West Ham, which they're getting into form. They've won the last 2 games. So they're getting there with Nuno Santos, but they're still in the relegation zone. So that's a must-win game. I think for West Ham, every game's a must-win for them to survive. So I know they're going to bring it, but I feel confident we're going to win that one. Wolves, bottom of the table, we're going to win. I reckon that one. There's a rumor going around about João Gomez, but I'll get into that on my next video where I discuss, the ins and outs in the January transfer window. And then Bournemouth, I think that game will be hard, harder than I reckon it should be, but I reckon that'll be a hard game as well. I don't think it'll be as hard as the Palace game, but it'll still be up there because they're doing, I think they're in the top 4, aren't they? Yeah. So they're doing amazing. They're absolutely amazing. I'm going to get into a news article that I read on Manchester Evening News where it said about Man United's new stadium, how the government weren't going to fund it. I think United were relying on more of the government funding. So is the stadium going to happen? Is the stadium not going to happen? But I think that was what a lot of it had to do with was just that stadium funding. Let me get into this article right now. So I've got Manchester United's new 100,000 seater stadium suffers fresh financial blow after 600 million pledge. Man United have encountered a delay in their plans to build a new stadium dubbed the Wembley of the North. That's the picture of what potentially stadium was going to look like, but I think they're removing the whole tent thing, if I remember. So Man United have reportedly been handed a blow in their plans to build a new 100,000 seater stadium, hit by lack of government funding. United unveiled their plans in March, shortly after co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who completed his minority stake in February, confirmed his preference for the new build on the same site as Old Trafford, replacing the 150-year-old ground. The Manchester Evening News reported that the club figures estimate the cost of the new stadium to be around $2 billion. What I could do with that money. Ratcliffe believes the project could be financed through the government's Trafford Park regeneration scheme, which has received support from Chancellor Rachel Reeves, who I dislike. However, the paper now reports that the Treasury will not allocate any funding for the stadium, with the upcoming budget expected to focus heavily on tax increases, so now be paying more tax. That said, United's bid for the government funding has reputedly, that's the one, stalled since the start of this year. Treasury officials are said to have held talks with the Greater Manchester Combined Authority regarding regeneration housing plans in the area, but no formal engagement has been made with the United or Trafford Council. The government has already pledged 600 million for Greater Manchester for the 2025-26 financial year through integrated settlement with the West Midlands and Greater Manchester Combined Authorities, announced it a year ago. So now there's always some sort of spanner in the works. There's always something going on that usually prevents stuff from occurring and prevents stuff from happening. And this is the latest one. I think there was a company that wanted 400 million to move because they want to stay where they are. Hence why the tent might not get built now. And I think that was the way around it. But, you know, it's one of them. It's one of them where it's up in the air. I don't know whether the new stadium will actually eventually happen. I don't know how much money they've already spent or what the plan is going forward. But it seems like they're not getting any government funding for the stadium. So moving on now to a story about Axel Tuanzebe. Now, I've seen this in Sky Sports. And let me get it up. Okay, so I've seen this on Sky Sports. Man United accused. I read about this a while ago. I think it was about 3-4 months ago, where he was suing United for something, and not really many people knew what it was until this story came out. Man United accused in $1 million lawsuit of harming defender's career by failing to treat injury promptly and appropriately. Now, basically, the story is that the team's medical team or doctors didn't treat him well when he had his back injury. And for that reason, he's suing them for £1 million. He weren't treated promptly or appropriately, and it caused major issues to his back. Man United have been accused of harming a career former player by failing to treat an injury promptly and appropriately, leaving him with more serious long-term problems, according to a $1 million lawsuit obtained by Sky News. While defender Axel, I don't know why I called him Alex. It's Axel. Axel is still in the Premier League at Burnley. He blames United for no longer being able to play without restriction or impediment impacting his career and earnings. So that's what he's basically blaming for. And I would hope to think that since then, the medical team and everything has improved. But if this is the case back then, I wonder how many other players will take the same route and feel the same. Is this what people meant when they said there was problems backstage? Just the whole team, that it's the whole medical staff, etc., etc. But if it's true, because I'm not going to say it is or not, because obviously I don't know. I'm just reading stuff for you guys that, you know, you've probably read yourselves. But if it's true, it's not a good look. Definitely not a good look. And it's a major fail. And hopefully, you know, with the new Carrington in place and, you know, the state-of-the-art equipment that we've got, stuff like this don't happen. But that's the reason Axel Tuanzebe is suing Man United for £1 million. And now you know. Okay, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching. I try to make it as quick as possible. I didn't want to bore you guys, you know, because sometimes people can rabbit on, and I didn't really want to get into boring you guys. So hopefully you enjoy that. Please like the video. Please share the content. Please comment underneath. Please subscribe to the channel. And and I'll see you guys in the next video. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. See you later.